As we speak, Ukraine is being pounded by the Russian artillery. Imagine running a hospital built to treat 100 wounded per month. And suddenly you receive 100 casualties on a single day.
We know that already 2 months after the war had started, 165 healthcare facilities were damaged or completely destroyed. More and more, we realized that what was actually needed was medical equipment.
That's why 8 Pioneers is building a global network to support Ukrainian frontline hospitals. So what we do is quite simple, actually. Effectively, we solve 2 separate problems. On the one hand, we know that there are many global partners who don't really know how to have a truly effective impact on the ground. And on the other hand, there are these amazing local institutions that know exactly what is needed on the ground, but lack the resources to really scale up.
So we identified a partner in the US called Project Cure.
Project Cure is the largest provider of donated medical supplies in the world, and they have warehouses across the US where they receive medical supply donations from hospitals.
We deal on average with about 20,000 SKUs, different items. If you can imagine 350,000 square feet of warehouse racked 3 high with everything that you need in a hospital at some point.
What they do is that they hand curate and pack 40-foot containers containing life-saving medical equipment.
The real magic to this is the leverage. The money that we raise is only going to go toward the warehousing and the shipping of all of this product. If we raise 20,000 euros, we'll deliver 400 to 500,000 euros in a 40-foot container.
Shipping these 40-foot containers full of medical equipment and supplies across the Atlantic and through Europe into Ukraine is quite complex. And for that reason, we are super proud and lucky to have partnered up with Flexport, which is a world-leading freight forwarding company.
We say it's using shipping for a force for good, covering the shipping and logistics costs and making sure that everything that comes out of Project Cure's warehouses gets where it needs to go for 8 Pioneers to then distribute in country.
That's when we got plugged into Project 22.
Project 22 has a very great network of local hospitals, regional hospitals, and heads of the clinics.
And essentially takes a data-driven approach to identify in the hospitals that have the largest bed capacity and are in the kind of most active areas on the front lines of the war. What our containers do is equip frontline hospitals to treat patients in the critical 5 days after a mass casualty event.
Anesthesia supplies, all types of catheters, suction machines, wound vacs, external fixators, surgical instruments, and many other essential supplies.
So we go through 6 to 12 cycles of iteration on every manifest that gets sent in order to make sure that we're effectively maximizing the sort of inventory of donated medical supplies that we have based on our report for what's needed on the ground.
Each container that 8 Pioneers is sending can help over 2,200 patients to survive and get an appropriate treatment.
The last part of help that we received is medical aid from 8 Pioneers, the most important part of our Project 22 now.
The cost to get 1 container with medical supplies worth $400,000 to the front lines is $20,000.
The cooperation that we've built with Project Cure, with Flexport, and with Project 22 actually multiplies donations that we get, so €1 is multiplied by 20 effectively.
This shipment just showed how effective and scalable our system is. And since we don't know how long the war will last in Ukraine, we hope to be able to send way more containers in the future.
But of course, that's not enough. We want to enable even more individuals, foundations, and especially companies to have impact in the most effective way with our local partners. In Ukraine, but also beyond. Together we can empower local ideas to create truly sustainable impact.